The Dark Element with their self-titled debut album, 11 tracks for 51 minutes. It's a supergroup made up of former Nightwish singer Anette Olson and former Sonata Arctica guitarist Jani Liimatainen. Joined by Jonas Kuhlberg on bass and Jani Hurula on drums. Released November 2017 via Frontiers. I got there in the end. Produced by Jani Liimatainen. He produces himself. Mixed by Jacob Hansen. Looks like 2 promo tracks were released, The Dark Element and The Ghost and the Reaper. This one has quite a bit of hype around it. I believe Jimmy wants to go first on this.
After the first 3 songs on this, Andrew, I thought to myself, Dave is going to love this album. So I'm very interested to hear his review, because I know what a big Nightwish fan he is. I was never a big fan of Nightwish with Anette Olson.
Damn.
On vocals. But this, I reckon, is fantastic. I've been playing this for like 4 days straight.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised by this.
Yeah.
You normally struggle with the symphonic stuff. It's not your bag.
No. It's not. I don't think this is heavy. This is as heavy as Nightwish. Not to
Elements
my
are.
ears.
Dark elements are.
The music really suits her style of singing.
Fantastic.
Anette is a brilliant singer, I reckon. And this is more melodic, less heavy. And I think it suits her vocals more.
Her solo album is interesting.
Yeah. Huge production. I wouldn't call this symphonic metal like Nightwish. This has more of a rock element to it, Dave. Heavy in parts, but very accessible to fans of heavy rock who don't like symphonic metal, which is pretty much me. I'm not big on the symphonic stuff, but yeah. Great musical diversity on this album, mixing the keyboards and symphonic parts with acoustic guitars and some electronica. Is very well done. I need to go back to the Nightwish stuff with Anette as far as this album goes. Can't read my own writing. I can't get enough of her voice. Amazing melody and delivery. This is a real surprise album for me. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Every song is wicked, but there's a song on there called Last Good Day, and that's one of my songs of the year. I love it.
Jesus. All right.
Do you want to retort?
Sure. I'd like to open by saying the views expressed for myself are not necessarily the views of THRS.
Or that's the first time that's ever been done.
Wow.
Disclaimer. Alrighty, here we go.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Maybe I'll just read verbatim.
And being wrong.
No, just no.
Wow.
ABBA on meth.
Ouch. Okay.
Nope, just not my cup of tea at all. I saw this album got so many good reviews, and I now know that it's the chick from Nightwish. I actually don't mind Nightwish, but I cannot stand this. It's so fucking depressing.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Someone You Used to Know must be the most depressing song ever. Hated the lyrics, made me want to kick something like that. How could you have such low self-esteem? Put that song in the bin.
Wow.
No, I'll agree with you
Someone
on that
You
one.
Used
I
to
got notes on that
Know
song.
is all about a chick who is prepared to change who she is for a dude. And this isn't a chick-dude thing. This is just a... I just thought it was so wrong. So wrong. I do not want my daughter to listen to this song. Paris, never, ever.
Wow.
Put that song in the
Victorian
bin.
J for me, man.
And the album 2 out of 10.
Keep the girls away from this song.
Oh, so I don't need the bin.
Just for that song. Just for that one song, the bin.
The rest gets a solid 2.
The rest gets a solid 2. And I will just go, that's my personal taste and purely what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah.
So the bin just gets to sniff and not eat it.
Yeah.
It's right. You can sniff it, but you can't eat
Running
it.
gag on the episode. There we go. Well done.
Nice, Dave.
Okay. I have to say I was disappointed when Annette got kicked out of Nightwish because I had tickets to see them and I thought that was going to be the thing I get to see. But Flo is awesome. Fucking, she's amazing. I saw her live.
She is a good singer.
Fuck me. Okay, I have to say I'm excited to learn The Dark Element is the new band from Anette Olson on vocals. For those who don't know who she is, she's the singer from Nightwish, having replaced Tarja Turinian and copying a lot of backlash from fans in the process. Well, they can fuck off because Annette's got a great voice.
Oh, here we go. He's got a fucking pedestal now, folks.
Oh yeah, we still gotta do a Nightwish tribute. I gotta fucking rub it in. Tarja was great, but fucking Annette, she was good. And you wouldn't be as accepting the floor now if Annette hadn't taken the fucking mid hurdle. Anyway, to the review of The Dark Element. I got sidetracked.
Feel better now?
Yeah, I do. I got that out of my system. I've always enjoyed listening to Anette, so now that she has a new band, it's great to hear some new music. It's hard not to compare this to Nightwish, though. At times, there are parts that sound very familiar, but it is the same genre, and there's nothing that's blatant rip-off. In fact, you could say it's clever album structure, but the song My Sweet Misery, the second track on this album, reminds me a hell of a lot of Storytime from Imaginarium. But it's just the start of the song, and then it goes off into something completely different, which shadows what's to come on the album.
So they're using it like gateway.
Yeah, it's a gateway thing. So if you're a Nightwish fan, it'll take you in, and it'll take you off into a different direction, which is very cool album structure and songwriting.
Is that the one you told me to go back and listen to?
Yeah, check it out. Storytime and My Sweet Mystery.
Okay.
The performances are powerful and passionate. The composition is bombastic and complex, as you would expect from this type of music, and it sounds amazing from start to finish. At the start, I was thinking the band... What?
Just keep going.
Oh, fuck, here we go. At the start, I was thinking this band has something to prove and it's going to be a balls-out symphonic metal onslaught, but then as the album goes on, there's some really softer moments, and tracks like Heaven of the Heart and Only the One Who Knows Me, and that really shines in these songs. I said earlier, it's a different type of thing to Nightwish, but fuck, it would be good to have Marco, whatever the fuck his name is, doing the co-vocals, because they also always did great together, like The Islander, and if they were still in, As far as themes and lyrics go, it's dark, self-reflection, loss and fear, and you'd expect that from this genre, but the best songs in this genre, it's not about giving up to the depression, it's about facing it and taking it on board and moving forward.
Ooh, yeah.
Combining metal and symphony brings great juxtaposition. Finding the light and the darkness, so to speak, brings it together and takes it into a whole different world. Symphonic metal nerd here. It's not only great to have Anette back, it's also to have a great symphonic metal album that's offering something fresh. It's not as good as anything Nightwish have done. It's certainly not as good as Imaginarium, which is the greatest album ever fucking made, if you ask me. 9 out of 10, that's where My Sweet Misery, Here's to You, which actually reminded me of a David Bowie song from 1987. If someone wants to listen to that song and see if they can guess what song I'm talking about, that'd be cool. Dead to Me and Only One Who Knows Me.
That's a random bit of trivia.
Seriously, listening to that song reminded me of a fucking David Bowie song. It was like really, really...
Okay, everyone, you're getting a nice big glimpse into Dave's soul tonight.
You are.
Yeah.
I'm exposing myself.
Whatever album you two listened to was clearly not the same one I was
Just,
You're wrong.
We're not done yet.
Edit you out.
Save me, Andrew.
I found this to be a really interesting listen, but also a really difficult listen. I really struggled with the vocal melody at times, and it's not that she can't sing. Obviously, she can. She's a fantastic singer. Yeah. But the vocal melody was ABBA on meth. I don't think I can describe it any. I just put two ABBA like, but ABBA on meth.
She used to be in the ABBA cover band.
Yeah.
But I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Mind you,
doesn't mean
because I
she's
fucking
gonna
hate
be
ABBA and I don't listen to them.
She's been in an ABBA cover. It doesn't mean she has to be a prat all her life. Seriously. So there's some electronic drum sounds in here that really got up my nose and were completely bloody unnecessary.
Wow.
When Nightwish and the strings kick in, I think I'm listening to strings, even if I'm not. I can suspend disbelief enough to listen to think I'm listening to strings. On this, I think I'm listening to Barry Morgan and the Home of Organs. You know, like,
With Nightwish, though, they'd actually be called symphonies in the studio.
yeah, I know, and that's good, and you can
this.
hear it. This sounds like a home organ, and
But it's
supposed to be
Get the old Moog out.
It's
Here we go.
it's supposed to be symphonic metal. Then give me a fucking symphony. Don't give me some bloke in glasses. No, don't want it.
Wow.
I think you need those.
The compositions are beautifully crafted, of course. Guitar sounds are massive, which it needs to be on this style of thing. But overall, the sound really annoyed me a bit, and I don't know what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it. I don't know if it was too snap to grid.
It was pretty snap to grid,
And that is something I really don't like when it's not sort of organic sounding. Or maybe it was just the overuse of the Casio home organ. It's not bad, it's just not for me. I gave it 6 out of 10. The highlights were Dark Element, Ghost in the Reaper, and Dead to Me.
Well, this is an interesting one for me. Albums with this much hype in the lead up are precarious. The talent behind this should make it a good listen, however it failed.
Wow.
Ouch.
It sounds good. It sounds really nice. It sounds nice. Big points on production. The layering, the capturing of the tones is really good. They've not gone for big. They've just gone to make it all fit, and they've done that really well. The performances are good. Anette has a really nice voice. The performances behind her allow her to shine as well. All that stuff is really good. But are you noticing a theme yet? I'm using the word nice a lot. Simply put, this album is far too nice. There's energy riffs and the synth works well. I knew it was synth. I didn't even bother to think it was strings. It was just synth work. But it falls over in the writing, particularly lyrically for me. I get the feeling they were actually confused in what they were going for lyrically with this album. There are songs on here that are genuinely empowering. There were songs lyrically that were empowering. But there are songs that are pretty much guaranteed to piss off the feminazi brigade. The one you're talking about, I'm dead set serious. I agree with everything you said about that, to the point where I felt uncomfortable listening to the tracks someone used to know. It's not a Goat Hair cover, thank fuck for that. But the lyrics are cringeworthy. Talk about complete submission.
Just wow.
It was a girl saying she would change absolutely everything about herself for the adoration of one person. I'm sorry, Divine Ascension shits on that, as far as I'm concerned. From a lyrical standpoint, from what I want children and anyone out there to listen to, give me Divine Ascension over this any day. Divine Ascension has this album beat.
Wow.
Comfortably.
I agree with that.
Comfortably. I will pay that there are some empowering songs, but none as powerful to me as the statement that song made in its lyrics. I'd much rather put Divine Ascension on this, like I said. Lyrically and musically, they've got this beat. If you're looking for the genre and haven't heard that album yet, or anything from Divine Ascension, put them on over this.
That song's stronger from Divine Ascension.
I love that song. Was, and I was comparing, like I've got a woman who's been around for years and years and years, has been beaten and robbed and stuff before, and she puts out a song like that versus Divine Ascension.
I would like to hear her opinion on this song.
I would like to as well. Yeah. I'd like to know the rationale behind it, because from an outside looking in perspective on that song, like, it made you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it made me incredibly uncomfortable listening to it. There's someone
Is it from her perspective or an observation of her?
No, it was from her perspective was what I got out of it.
Yeah, but could it be her observing somebody and making it her own?
But it didn't come across that way. It didn't get delivered as an observational piece. It got delivered as a monologue.
Give her a call.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll just pick up the phone and away we go. Annette, give us some feedback.
Yeah. Come on, I want to check out your Dark Element.
You can smell it, but you can't get it.
Composition-wise, I again also got ABBA. Some of the key changes on this in particular stand out like dog's balls. They are straight out of the ABBA playbook. The key changes were just obligatory fuck off and boring and done to death. Repetitive themes in the composition are also used for far too long. They could have shortened the majority of these songs by 30 seconds to a minute and come up with a more dynamic listen that would have gone for about 40 minutes as opposed to 50. Could have done without the killing Heidi moment on The Ghost and the Reaper as well, thanks. Wow. Anyone else get that?
I'm surprised Jimmy's my ally on this album. Fuck.
God, what is going on?
It's good to have these two people working together, like Anette and Jani. They've got a lot of potential. I reckon. I hope they step it up on the next release, if there is one, because when Frontiers tend to throw these projects together, you're never quite sure if you're going to get the next one out of them. Frontiers have done some really good combos like that, like Sweet and Lynch and stuff have come together and done some really good stuff. This one doesn't work yet, but there is potential in it to work down the line. This is one for pure fans only. It's not a terrible listen. There's enough to put me off of it, but as you want to go neutral on this, it's not bad. It's just not overly interesting in my opinion. There are moments the moments that I find myself cringing don't outweigh the moments where I'm sitting there going, fuck yes, that was cool. And that's the overall merit for me. There are some good and beautiful moments on here though, so there's potential in this to work. I just want to see them actually step it up a bit more as opposed to going for formulaic generic stuff, which has been done to death in my opinion. I gave it a 5 out of 10. I picked Dead to Me and Heaven of Your Heart. They're probably the only two tracks I'd go back to on this one.
Jeez.
So there you go. Woo. It's a bit of a contentious review, this one, so check it out for yourselves and give us your thoughts, folks.
Am I still wrong?
Yes. You're both wrong. Fucking hell.
No one said last good day. When we get to top 10s and we do our songs of the year, that's going to be right up there.
Said that.
That is
About
gonna be
10
right
years
up there.
ago, there was a song.